on to the next topic, which is
It's tough to talk
it's
about.
like a fucking trigger word. It's like a red flag. It's almost like what's the guy's name? Voldemort from
he who shall not be named.
yeah, you can't say his name, right?
Kanye West.
Yeah, I mean, you can't even
it.
say. We just asked Sus what he thinks. He's like, "Fuck that guy."
Which I understand.
I'm tired of hearing about Kanye and Trump. But Trump is our president, and Kanye happens to be the most culturally significant figure of the past decade, if not more.
I agree. Elaborate.
I mean, okay, and people might want to argue that fact, so I'll just, say top 5 culturally significant. Music, fashion,
Yeah.
just saying crazy dumb shit.
I mean, Kanye killed gangster rap.
So yeah, I think at the end of the day, there's
industry.
two.
He's like changing, the dude's 39 and he's influencing what like me and my friends wear
Yeah,
and listen to, and we're like 20.
That's tough.
How the fuck a 39-year-old
Yeah.
dude with 2 kids is able to tap into the youth?
So anyone that's 30 or over that's hating on Kanye, you try to influence a fucking 20-year-old. There's 2 issues here that I see. There's the political thing, which he's openly stated he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about when it comes to politics, nor does he care. And to be honest with you, nor do I. I don't know what's going on. It's so impossible to get to the truth of that I've sort of just given up. I gave up a long time ago when I realized the government's lying to us and the media is double lying to us. So what's the point in even trying to decipher what's going on? So I'm putting all that aside and I'm looking at the second issue, which is that he's promoting free thought, free speech, open-mindedness, love, compassion, empathy, forgiveness, and understanding. And those are all, I mean, what better things to be talking about?
And he's doing.
What's Tekashi talking about? What's Little Pump talking about?
He's not only is he talking about it, he's actually like actively doing it.
Yeah,
which is easy for everyone to preach love
by forgiving his mom's
the surgeon
who killed his mom.
And like
and
he's
saying
like,
I might put her on my album cover or whatever, which he probably won't do, but whatever. Just by saying that,
the doctor's trying to sue him for it now.
Right. But just by saying I'm going to put my mom's killer on my album cover, I'm willing to forgive, because it just by him doing that work and looking inwardly, it's forcing me to look at who I need to forgive. And I mean, are you kidding me? How incredible is that? That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and not only the doctor thing, but like in the whole like the Trump situation, like I don't think he supports Trump principles. Like in the Trial of the Man, the God interview, he was like he's more Bernie Sanders principles.
Yeah, I mean, who
he fucks with the idea of Trump like a celebrity, and that if Trump becomes president, he can become president. And the part about what he said that was like that I was like, oh, he's actually practicing this love thing, is when the black dude at TMZ was like arguing with him and like saying like, Kanye, I defended you when everyone here at TMZ had this story on you. I'd be like, no, like Kanye is this, Kanye is that. And he's like, it hurts me that you would stand next to someone who means me harm, right? Mm-hmm. Meaning Trump. And then Kanye was like, well, if you asked God how to deal with Donald Trump, what would God say?
Yeah, that actually wasn't when that happened. It happened when, who's that dude that runs TMZ? The dude with the thermos and shit? You know that guy? Yeah. That guy said, I've been thinking a lot about this concept you brought up, and I think that there are people that are your enemies, right?
Yeah.
And I think there are people that you need to, and Kanye said, what would God have you do? He said it to him.
Oh, okay.
And that dude like kind of stumbled and didn't know what to say, right? Because it's kind of he's talking about high, like spiritual concepts. As soon as you start talking about love, peace, understanding, and God, people just want to call you crazy like right away. But it's like, if our government brought those principles and concepts into, if we brought those principles into everything we do, into every interaction, and if Trump brought them into political situations like with North Korea or whatever, I don't fucking know. I mean, just sort of keeping that in the back of your mind, like love.
It's hard.
It's hard, but it's
really hard,
literally
dude.
the most important thing the human race could do.
I know. And it's hard. It seems easy.
No,
like it
it's
seems
really-
like, oh, you just got to love yours, but it's really hard to like love your enemy, you know? To forgive. Like he talks about like and he was talking about being the first blood to shake a Crip's hand and all that. Like that's powerful shit.
It is. It really
That's
is.
power because everyone would hate that blood.
And it's actually kind of frustrating that like he's more hated than tons of other popular rappers that are talking about nothing.
Yeah.
He's the one that everyone hates. Why? Because he's been known to like rant, and he even openly will say I've made mistakes, which is another really cool thing about a public figure. They're people. We've all made mistakes, right? Anyone that's listening to this that's thinking, "Oh, fuck that fool," you've made worse mistakes than he has any day of the week. Why do we put these people on such high pedestals? It's like,
I feel like sometimes people look for reasons to hate him, like just so that it's just like easier than like really taking in what he's saying.
yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, for me, he's an artist, and art is meant to evoke an emotion, and he's doing that, and he's just a person, and you know, it's
And like the biggest thing, like the part when I watched that whole TMZ, the 30-minute cut, is the part where he was saying, yeah, I stand with Donald Trump because like you should love your enemy and you should stand next to them and you should ask, he's human, like ask him why you do, like that's how you figure it out and come to a compromise, is you talk to your enemy, right?
Yeah.
You talk to them. And he was like all this time we've been, the left and the right, we're so divided and we're just saying fuck you, I hate you, you suck, fuck you, right? And he's like, why don't we just try love? Like, why don't we just try loving the other person? And that was just like, wow, that's high level shit.
yeah, it's hard to talk about a lot of this stuff because people are, it's you know, it's just hard. He said that he's trying to describe certain things that really can't be described, like our language and our ability to communicate as a human race. Right now, I mean, we're still in the early stages of like being humans and like communicating, and it's like hard for us to like transmit certain ideas and concepts and like our language.
He's definitely not good at talking.
Well, he is, yeah. Coupled with that fact too, he's good at so many things. Like I'll give him a pass at not being the best at articulating what is going on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, in his mind. So I don't know. I just want to have an open mind, and I don't want to just like judge anyone based on like some headline.
But you're not. You love what he's saying. Like
I do.
You were telling me that you were tearing up when he was talking about
because,
Tupac
like,
and like John Lennon. You were fired up about Kanye.
I
dude.
was, and I'm like,
You were like,
I
you were the most inspired by a modern artist that I've ever seen.
But I will say that I do get real excited about shit, and I feel things on a super high, like on an intense. I'll jump around from certain, like I might in 2 weeks from now be like, oh, whatever. But like, yeah, when he said, you know, you got John Lennon and Tupac on the wall, and I'm willing to be that third person. I'm willing to die for these concepts of love and peace. And I just thought about like John and Yoko up in that New York skyrise, like taking naked photos and talking about like weird shit like peace and free love, and everyone was like hating on them and judging them. And like Bob Dylan, when he went electric, like everyone hated him. Like people don't, so it's like normal, right? Like he's trying to actually, but I don't know. So I went.
Why was it like so inspiring?
I would like to believe that he's on that level because I miss having profound artists in my life,
for sure.
know? So I mean,
who is on that level now?
Well, maybe I'm like yearning for that, and I want him to be that, and he's not that. Or maybe we'll look back in 20 years and be like,
I think
wow.
for sure, like he is.
Well, you would. You're 20.
Exactly. And more into the 20-year-old decided
Yeah,
that
and
Tupac
it's,
was
you know,
that. And the
that's
20-year-olds are the one who decided John Lennon was that.
That's another thing,
Not-
right? If you're fucking 30 and older and you're hating on Kanye, do you remember when you were 20 and your parents didn't understand what you were fucking with? That's
Same thing.
It's the same fucking thing.
I mean, like when you...
Although Sus is 21 and he said he's fucking over Kanye too, but whatever. I don't know. It's not for everyone, you know.
Well, he's just bringing
it's really easy to hate.
He's just bringing up shit that like people don't like. I understand that everyone's fucking tired of Trump, dude. I don't want to turn on my phone every morning and just see like Trump bad. Like there's another headline of just like why he sucks, and I get that, but like this is the first thing that someone's saying that's different.
Yeah,
it's not hate,
and it's not fighting fire with fire, because
No.
that doesn't work. That just makes a bigger fire, and it contributes to the polarization of our society, which is like extremely polarized right now. Like,
I mean, how do you guys expect to unite the left and the right?
Right, it's
Like,
crazy.
what's your plan? Please tell me.
so he's using water to fight fire by being nice to this guy and getting next to him, and like,
But like,
at least he's just trying a different approach.
what is like? I just want like for all the people that are hating that, right? For just like, there's people who are like, like Trump is the worst, right? I know he's the worst, right? I fucking hate Donald Trump. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary.
Lighter, dog. I voted for Bernie Sanders in the primary.
And then I voted third party in the general. Like I hate Donald Trump, right? But
like, that's
I know that the solution isn't to
Well,
just hate the right.
Yeah.
It's literally to get nothing. Because then I just call the right, you're racist, bigoted, blah, 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 blah. And then they're just like, you're ultra sensitive, fucking like,
Yeah,
whatever.
That's actually interesting that you mentioned that, because you were protesting against Trump hard. Like that's important to like.
Yeah.
That's why when you told me you were like down with all this, and like even Nate too. Like I have a black friend, Nate, who's been like sort of like angry, holding on to the past. The type of dude that you would, but he idolizes Kanye. So like when he's hearing this type of shit being talked about, he's like, you know what, like love is like, he's not so angry anymore. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like and like when I heard that you were like kind of coming around or whatever, like I was like, oh wow, that's crazy, because like you're like one of the most intense, like politically charged anti-Trump dude that I've ever known. Like you were on the front lines protesting, and you're like able to see the good in what he's trying to do.
Yeah, and like, and I know, like I've been there, dude. Like I understand the hate. Like I understand hating him. Like I hate him, right? Like it's hard being a fucking minority in America, and then it's hard being fucking.
I actually don't hate him, because I don't know him, and I think that I really don't hate anyone. I think that. And that's another thing I really like that he's saying is like good, bad. It's all.
And I maybe hate was the wrong word, but like I don't like the fucking guy. I'm not saying to support Trump.
Yeah, but
like,
you've never even spent.
I'm saying like I don't like his policies. I don't like his state. I definitely don't like how he talks. Blah blah blah. But all I know, right? I don't know Donald Trump. I don't know Kanye West. Okay. All I know from my experience in life is that hating the right solves absolutely nothing. If anything, it makes it worse. And hating Trump, how many fucking headlines do we have to have every morning for what is almost like, how long has it been since he's been president?
You know what?
Like a fucking minute,
it's
right?
exhausting.
How many headlines do we have to do before we realize that like we're just in an echo chamber and we're just hating him, and it's nothing is getting done, right? Like we're just blocking all our Trump supporter friends on Facebook and just being friends with the people who agree with us, like, and if we do talk with a Trump supporter, it's this like anger filled, like I have to win, like fuck you, you suck. And like, how long do we have to do that for before we try something else?
Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? The whole conversation that he's having, and these like sort of rants that he's going on. It reminds me of like when I have like a friend or someone who I'm talking to. Maybe it's not a friend. Like I used to like get loaded and go like onto college parties and shit and like talk to like Marines. Like there was like people that were like in the war, like or whatever, like, and I would like go up to them and like, you know, engage in a conversation with someone being like super against any kind of like, why are you out there? All we're doing is going for oil, blah, 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 whatever. Someone that I don't agree with anything that they're doing or saying, totally different from me, but I want to have a conversation with them. So I'm not just like disagreeing right off the bat with everything they're saying. I'm like listening to them and I'm like going, oh, okay, cool. And I'm like, it's like, it takes a certain finesse to come to a conclusion with someone and to like debate without like fighting. Yeah. You have to kind of, yeah. And you have to like, well, that's one part of it, but the feeling that I had when I was listening to this was like that feeling of like almost being willing to surrender some of my ideas so that I can start having a conversation with this person and this person can start to like hear me. Right? Because they're not even going to hear me if I'm like talking shit right out the gate. So it's almost like you kind of ease your way in. So it reminded me of that. Like it seems like that could be something, and it's really hard to explain. I get what you're saying. It's almost like a feeling that you have to like go with. You have to feel.
When I talk with like someone who's on the right wing, the best way I could kind of like, first of all, get them to listen to me is like, first they're like, oh, you're liberal. You fucking, what, you want Bernie Sanders? You want socialism and communism and like higher taxes and all this bullshit, right? And first I'm in the box and then I'm like, yeah, but like this and that. And then they're like, whatever like right-wing thing we're talking about, I try to be like understanding and be like, you know what, that makes sense. You know, like there'll be like certain economic policies that the right wing has that I'll be like, okay, that I agree with you. You're right. The 2 words "you're right" are very powerful in a debate because it proves that you're willing to say that and that you're not in it to win a debate. I don't like the word debate because there's this connotation that you're trying to win. There's a winner and a loser. If you go into a debate with the goal of learning,
yes, or
you never lose,
or coming to some sort of conclusion,
yes,
and like trying to like, you know, reach a positive outcome. Like that should be, and it requires like, it sounds corny, but it requires like this sort of like a loving approach, like love your neighbor regardless of everything. Like try to love another human being and like try to just like see their points of views and try to understand where they're coming from. And it's really, really hard, and it's actually impossible for some people.
Yeah.
But
and it's
you mentioned that you were fueled by anger.
Yeah.
And there's this quote by Rage Against the Machine, this anger is a gift, that I used to like.
It certainly can be.
I used to live my life by that. Actually, that was my quote in my high school yearbook. Anger is a gift.
Wow.
Because it is fueling and it can be a powerful tool, but it's going to fucking eat you up inside, and you're gonna be fucking miserable. And I don't want to be miserable. I'm tired of being angry. I just want some peace. I want a peaceful place and a bright sunshine, as Perry would say in my Monday night meetings.
Yeah.
That's all I really want.
I feel it. I fuck with that.
So,
and I feel it, man. And that's kind of why I kind of like stayed away from the ball. Like I did like the rallies and everything and the protests, and like that's kind of why I like inched away from it, because I saw, in my opinion, a kind of a futility in it. Like when I was at the Trump protests, like I see the government silencing these protesters by arresting them and like unlawfully arresting them, and just like no one. I stopped being so involved in politics because I knew that like or like at least I strongly believe that I couldn't change anyone's mind. If someone was right wing, they're right wing. If someone's left wing, they're left wing, and I can't change that.
Yeah.
So then I just was like, all right, fuck politics. Then I'm out. Everyone's set. Everyone's on their thing, right? And I was like, I'm gonna live this peaceful. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need Facebook arguments. I don't need to like be at a party and argue about this bullshit, right? Because I'm not gonna change their mind, right? And there's nothing. And then everyone else is just gonna be like seeing who's the winner, who's the better debater, and not what the truth is, right? So then I like just fucking fuck it, right? I'm over it. Maybe I'll talk with my close friends a little bit. I'm about peace. Like, let's just have a good time. Let's just fucking chill. Let's just like write funny stuff on Facebook. Let's just enjoy life, talk about Avengers. Yeah. And then Kanye did this, and this is what I love about Kanye. He's always just like, just do you. Like, just do you. Like, no matter how much conflict it invites, you know, and like say what you believe, you know, and that's making me kind of get back into like being involved in that type of thing. Is like, this is like what I believe and this is my truth, and but I shouldn't be afraid to share that just because like I don't want the conflict.
Yeah, but sometimes you do need to do the proper research before you like start spouting about shit you don't know about. But you know, like having a loving attitude and being in a positive place, like that's the main thing that he's speaking about, and that's the energy he's trying to put out there right now. And that is something that he can speak on, and that's something anyone can speak on. And when I see a video of a paparazzi approaching him on the street in Calabasas, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, he's gonna fucking trip out. I would, if someone was trying to take pictures of me and ask me questions out the blue while I'm trying to like live my life, and I see his reaction, which is like, hey man, you got kids, you're trying to support your family. Like, this is online, you can pull it up.
Yeah.
And when I saw it, I was like, holy shit, this is crazy. Like, he was like, dude, you guys get a bad rap. Like, he was like, I respect the paparazzi, and it's like fucked up that you guys get a bad rap.
Let's wait for that cut. Are we good with audio? Did it not cut by? Okay.
What's going on?
He's doing the 30-minute thing. What up? All right.
He's bad rap. He was saying that, you know, you guys get a really bad rap and he was like respecting their role as like in what they do and how it's important.
They're just trying to make a living, bro.
Yeah, and it was like, whoa, like it's really crazy that he almost seems like a different person, which is an example for all of us. It's like, I don't know if he had a breakdown or he disappeared for a year, and I mean, he talks about having a mental breakdown or breakthrough.
And he's so open about it.
Yeah, which is so cool, because like I've had that too. Like, I hit a bottom, and like it was really hard and tough, and like and when you get through it, you learn some shit. Pain is the touchstone to growth, to spiritual growth and to growth. And it's like you have to experience pain to grow and to get through things. I wish it wasn't that way. Shit, fuck, I'm trying to eat better and work out, and it's fucking getting older, and it's hard. I don't want to fucking work out. I don't want to fucking go to yoga. And that's another like really cool thing that I feel like I want to touch on, is just like walking into uncomfortable situations and like creating new patterns in your life that are good for you, even though you don't want to at first. Yeah, it's getting old is not for pussies.
Yeah.
Shit is real. You can probably eat whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah. I mean, I try to eat healthy. I like go through like in and out of like healthy, like, meal prep, and then just gym, and then I like fall off a little bit and I go back. But like, it just depends, dude. I don't have time to like cook sometimes, dude. I mean, I've been cooking at home a lot lately, but like this past week of like finals week and all this shit, like I've been so busy, like work and sets and everything. I've just been like McDonald's, like, It's just like,
But it's like-
but I'm 20, so I can do that.
Yeah, you
like
can
I could,
do whatever you
I
want.
could, I could just eat McDonald's forever and just focus on my career.
Well, not
and then
forever.
worry about my health. Well, like you know what I mean.
Right
like
now.
Right now.
But it's crazy because I'm seeing a lot of my friends like Chris and Gus and, you know, just like having to go on diets. And like Chris is keto now, Gus is keto. Donnie's does this fasting thing, and I'm trying to eat better. We're all, it's all catching up to us, and it's like it gets real.
How old are you again?
35.
35.
It just gets fucking real.
You're 35.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
Whoa. That's crazy.
Fucking. Yeah. It's kind of sad, dude.
Why is it sad?
Because I feel like, I'm halfway to 40. Or I'm in my mid 30s, which means I'm, 5 more years, I'll be 40. And that's, I don't know. These are all just social, they're all just.
I mean,
why
is it sad that you're 35?
Because I'm giving
You've lived a good life,
I have.
dude. You lived more full of a life than like a lot of people I know. I mean, there's videos of you fucking crowd surfing to fans and jumping off these fucking.
Yeah, I got to tour the world and.
So why are you sad to be 35?
Well, because I'm giving it meaning. Like we give everything all the meaning that there is. So it's like, it's just another thought pattern that I'm trying to change. Like, like I used to think that like getting married was like, it's over when you get married, but it's not. It's just certain ideas that you grow up as like a rebellious punk rock defiant person, and you're like,
I feel that.
I don't want to be old or married or have kids. I just want to fucking rebel against everything and just be young and like not have to like answer to any consequences.
Do you think that's like an innately immature attitude?
For sure. And the older you get, you realize you want to share your life with someone, and like, you want to be healthy and like. But yeah, I mean, look, getting old is, it's a necessary. It's not fun, and my body is literally starting to die.
I think that's like, I took the I took this death and dying class, fucking the best class, one of the best classes I've ever taken in my life, from my favorite teacher. He's like retired now, and like he really like his parents died, and he like watched both of his parents die in his arms, like tragic dude, and like PhD in philosophy. And this fool had this death and dying class, and he was talking about the concept of death deniers, and like plastic surgery or Botox, and like it's all a like subtle indirect form of death denying, and it's all rooted in the fear of death and like the lack of acceptance of like death. And like I think that's what like a lot of that stuff like. I mean, I don't know, I'm not 35, but I think that's like my theory is like the getting old is it's the fear of death, but like.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
know,
why.
man.
Like,
From my perspective, looking at you, like I think you've done a lot,
yeah,
And like, I would I know plenty of 35-year-olds who haven't done shit. And if I was them, then I would be afraid of getting old, because then now they're running out of time to do shit. But you've already done shit, and you're currently doing things,
That's all good and well and true, but it's the wrong way of looking at it. And that's why I love Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now. And you should know this because you're sober.
And I read the book.
Right now,
it's a good book.
Is the only thing we have, and to be in this present moment it's everything, right? Regardless of what I've done, regardless of what I've accomplished. And you're talking about the same shit that we were saying was bad earlier, and these evil, or I don't know about evil, but like these social constructs of like accomplishment and winning and losing, and it's just like.
Yeah, but if you're sad to be 35, you're also not living in the now. Because being sad to be 35 is being sad that you're going to be 40 one day.
Well,
and like that's you tripping about being in the future too.
Well, look, the truth is I don't do anything perfectly. Right now, I am happy, but there are some times when, I'm a prisoner in my mind, and I like go to the negative, and I'm like, I'm getting older, but then I, remember I'm happy in this fucking moment. And this is all I need. I have everything I need, and I'm really grateful for everything I have, and gratitude and humility. And
the past is a memory, and the future is a construct.
Yeah,
isn't real. That's what I got from that book.
I mean, honestly, when you think about it, ego. The only reason I'd ever be upset is because I'm like, I want something. I want to like. I don't want to get old. It's like, it's all about me. I'm tired of thinking about me. It's like at a certain point I have to be like, how can I help others? How can I be of service to humanity? How can I just want to be nice, and it's like, just get out of your own head. Stop thinking about you. Stop complaining. Stop whining. So what? You're fucking 35. You have it so fucking good. It's just like, it's very easy to remember to be grateful.
Yeah.
And I definitely do that a lot. I'm just saying, like, you guys are saying I'm fucking old. Imagine being me, hearing you guys say that. It's like, you can get in your head about that for a quick second.
Yeah. But I guess I don't mean it in like a negative way. Like,
yeah, you guys are just kind of joking. I get it.
Yeah, it's like we're just teasing you. But
cool. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe we could wrap it. What do you think?
We talked about Kanye West.
We talked
Getting
about
old,
therapy, antidepressants,
politics.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really think we should be talking about politics, but
fuck that. I'm talking about politics.
Yeah, we touched on it a little bit. Yeah, last night we were talking a little bit about rap and hip hop and how I kind of prefer MGMT and like Father John Misty. And,
are those rappers?
Yeah, no.
Then I don't give a fuck.
No, it's crazy.
I'm just kidding.
And how that's another thing about getting old is I don't really get it.
Yeah, you do. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, okay.
Are you kidding me, dude?
I do, but
you get it more than like most. Like, dude, you're bumping Tekashi 6ix9ine. And
I'm not like bumping that shit though.
Yeah,
like I'm listening to like Radiohead and Father John Misty and MGMT and like James Taylor and like fucking Buffalo Springfield and Neil Young, like Jerry Rafferty. Like I'm not listening to the Chet Baker. I'm not listening. Those are for me.
So what's wrong with that? What's the problem?
No, there's no problem. I'm just saying that you guys are listening to Suicide Boys, and I don't want to listen to that.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it. I'm just saying I don't get.
Because me and Young Sus are gonna be 35 one day, and then I'm gonna be like, I'm listening to Suicide Boys, and these kids are listening to Lil Fuckhead, and I don't understand why they like Little Fuckhead.
Yeah,
the only reason that I like Suicide Boys is because I was at the right age when they came out, and the only reason you like Radiohead is because you were at the right age when they came out. And I'm sure like you're no, they're totally different. But it's like not like whatever you grew up with is what is the best to you forever. You know what I mean?
But look, I'm not saying there's something wrong with it.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that. I want to, and I'm also not saying I don't understand it because or maybe I did say that, but I do like get why you guys like that shit.
Yeah.
But for me, it's not as musical. It's simple. It's ignorant. It's turning up, right? That's what it is, and it's like I get it, but I'm just
what's like,
and it's not just the music that
is
I grew
No
up
Effects
with.
like meaningful.
Chet Baker and fucking Jerry Rafferty and Buffalo Springfield and Neil Young. Like I didn't grow up in that time.
But you like No Effects, right?
Yeah, but I also
are they
MGMT.
Are their lyrics like meaningful and shit?
Incredibly.
Really,
dude, it's my
what do they talk about?
My orphan years it was when his parents died and he became.
So there's like substance.
Dude, the decline is about our entire culture from top to bottom. It's a 20-minute song about. I'm actually hyped to
Wow.
get to turn you on to this. There's a song called You're Wrong, and he just talks about all the ways people are wrong. You know, believing in.
Yeah, I don't know if we have that in our generation. I don't think if we have some.
But
like,
it's not
that
like
type of
it's not like
substance.
in a preachy way. You know, it's like, you know, he's talking about like the NRA and, you know, like you're wrong if you support capital punishment. You're wrong if you don't question your government. You're wrong if you agree with Sean Hannity. You're wrong if you
Does Sean Hannity
he's the guy from Fox.
back then, in the
No.
days of NoFX, like he was around?
Well, NoFX is just put out an album like a year ago.
Oh, really?
They've been going strong for 30 years. Independent, Fat Records. I messaged Fat Mike the other day on Instagram saying I want to do a documentary on them and their story and punk rock and Fat Records and Epitaph.
Yeah, I mean, I get you with the substance stuff. You know, I still search for substance.
I mean, bro, like I'm going to send you The Decline, which is a 20-minute punk rock song. Maybe the greatest.
No, I mean, I'm not completely ignorant to that. I mean, I was in a couple bands, like, you know, like I have vinyl of Bob Dylan and Led Zeppelin. I have an original Led Zeppelin 4
you're pretty woke
and
when it
2
comes to that shit.
and like an Abbey Road. Like I know, like I'm super about it and I understand and I know the substance. Like Going to California is an amazing song, right? Like the 5 guitars and like how it's just like melted together, just harmonic.
Going
it's just
to California?
fucking beautiful. But Led Zeppelin, it's amazing, and like learning to play it and like seeing the notes and like it's musically intricate and it's like just a beautiful song. Versus like I can't get that now. Yeah, that does kind of suck. But
Yeah,
and
that's
there's
what I'm saying.
and I
right?
understand that, and you're right.
But there are certain groups like AWOL Nation and Father John Misty and
AWOL
Tame
Nation.
Impala. Well, yeah, that last AWOL Nation.
Tame
album is
Impala
incredible.
is yes. They're fucking.
There's
crazy.
a lot. And we're not
But no one is the Beatles. No one is John Lennon, or no one is like. And we talked about this at Nasi. Is like
Yeah.
we don't have the big boys like that icon.
Yeah, it's
And it is kind of difficult, and
And
most people my age probably don't give a fuck, but like one day we will. One day
Yeah.
we'll be like, oh man, we didn't have like our guy.
But I just think there's this over.
You got Kurt Cobain, dude.
I
Fuck
know.
you.
This guy changed
That's
my life.
amazing.
It's crazy.
You got to live through Nirvana.
Yeah.
He
I
died 2 years before I was born, dog. Anytime I listened to him, I knew that he was dead. Like I can't believe that you had the option to see Nirvana
Bro,
live. That is unbelievable to me.
Yeah. Bro, I fucking that's that Nevermind CD with the baby
Yeah.
in the
And
water.
dollar. Yeah.
That was like a CD that like came out while I was a teenager. And
That's
like,
crazy.
My friend was
That's
like,
crazy.
dude. And I like listened to it and it fucking changed my life.
That's amazing. I envy that.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I think that's really cool.
And I wish there was someone, dude. I mean, I yearn. I mean, Kanye is the closest thing.
Yeah.
But like, I do yearn for kind of like
And
substance
I think
like
that the internet is to blame. It's a lot of good stuff comes from it, but there's also a lot of oversaturation and the bar is not as high.
well, yeah.
So it's a fucking mess.
Yeah, I mean it's more democratized, right? I mean, there's no more gatekeepers, which is good because that means anyone can do it, you know. But at the same time, people don't know what they want or like what's good. Like, we were talking on the phone. We were talking about democracy and that like America is not a democracy. In the Constitution, it's not a democracy. It's a republic. It's a representative republic. Right, where like we elect people who decide things for us rather than we decide for ourselves. And Sam Adams and all these Constitution signers of all these quotes, you could read them, dude, about how democracy destroys civilizations and like countries, and historically is just chaos. And I understand that is like,
Well, because a million people are not smarter than one.
or like mob rule is never good.
Right.
Yeah. Like, so yeah, it's kind of going on right now. It's like mob rule, and like when the mob rules, maybe they don't. Maybe
Which
they
is
don't,
why-
maybe there is a Kurt Cobain out right now, but people don't fuck with him.
Yeah,
You know?
that's what I'm saying.
You
The
know?
oversaturation of art on the internet is, and it's only getting worse. Everything's only getting more and more oversaturated and overpopulated. And it's actually scary to think where we're going to be in 20 years.
I have no idea. I think everyone's going to be in their own like bubble. Like everyone's going to be in their own bubble that no one else knows about. Like me,
Like VR?
No, I mean like there would be so much like right now because of the internet. There's like before it used to be like rap, and there's one type of rap, like you rap about the hood and you're tough, right? And now there's like these like emo rappers like Trippie Redd, Lil Uzi, that like that 12-year-old kid last night was listening to, and then there's like the underground like Ghostmane, like death metal-y, and then there's like the Suicide Boys who are like, and then there's like the Lil Peep who's like actually emo, and then there's like just like guys like X who are just angry. And then there's guys like Tekashi who's just crazy. Like there's these weird subgenres, right? And then the girls love like Cardi B, right? And like there's these little bubbles, right? That couldn't have happened before. And I think in the future, everyone's just gonna be in their own bubble. It's like, what do you listen to? Oh, I listen to this, and that, this. And they'll be like, cool. I don't know what any of that means. I listen to this, and this. And
like
the other
those
person's gonna be
artists-
like, I don't know what that is, but
But
whatever.
how would those artists make a living if they're only listened to by like a small percentage of the population? I guess they would just make a lot less, but they would still be able to get by.
Yeah, I mean, like the
Which is
subcultures
sort of
now
like
are,
how it is even now.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if you become the king of your subculture, like I think you're pretty fine financially. You know what I mean? And I think that's eventually what it's going to be. And if there is like one uniting artist that comes up, it's going to be crazy. But yeah, I mean, it's just the internet, man.
Yeah, I think that these are all topics that we can touch on throughout our journey on this Ridge podcast. But I think this was a good first run.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Let us know what you think.
What?
Give us feedback.
Yeah,
the audience,
fucking,
listeners,
I'm
comment on YouTube.
Talk shit. I don't
tell
care.
tell us what's up. Tell us what you want. Tell us what
Yeah.
you like. Tell us what you don't like.
Yeah. Give us feedback.
Understand it?
Yeah. We're out.